Hello everyone, I'm back and today it's all about Trini slash Caribbean sweetbread, a favorite all year round, especially at Christmas time. So to get started, you will need 3 cups of freshly grated coconut, 3 cups of flour, 1.5 cups of sugar, butter, some shortening, raisins, dried mixed fruits, essence, vanilla and almond, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half teaspoons of yeast, some cinnamon and some nutmeg. And we're going to get started. First, you will add your butter to a bowl and then you're going to add your sugar to that bowl. Here I used some white sugar and brown sugar. I just decided to mix it. However, you could use either or you could mix it just like me. Now I'm going to use my whisker and I'm going to whisk this together. Now we know the old-fashioned way. You could take a spoon and you can mix it like grandma taught us. But just for time, I'm going to be using my whisker. However, I advise that you start off on a small speed because you don't want everything flying everywhere. You know how it can get messy with these machines. So we're going to keep whisking it nicely together. And don't forget, while doing that, to clean around the edges of your bowl. Right? We need to make sure and clean the edges of our bowl and put it in there so that everything mixed together very nicely. We don't want anything just sitting out there and not mixing together. So we're going to continue whisking this together until we get the desired texture we're looking for. Just a nice mixture of the sugar and butter together to fuse together. And then I'm going to start adding my spices to my flour. So I added some cinnamon. I added my nutmeg. You could also add cardamom powder to this, but I didn't have any. It will work without it either way. Then I added my baking powder and now my yeast. What I'm going to do is mix all of this together thoroughly first before I add it to my butter. So I'm mixing everything that I added in there, my spices, my baking powder, my yeast, in this flour. And after that, then I'm going to be taking it and adding it to my butter and my sugar. Now, the best thing you could use when doing any form of work in the kitchen is your bare hands. So for this part, I'm going to be doing it like the real way we were taught to do it. I'm going to be getting my hands all up in there and getting them messy. So we're going to mix this together. Now I use a little more butter than a lot of people usually would. So without any water at all, my consistency, my mixture is already sticky, right? Because I really like a lot of flavor and a lot of richness in there. So that's why it's already sticky without any liquid. Next, I added my freshly grated coconut and I'm going to just continue mixing that nicely with my hands. All up inside of there. Mix it, make sure everything is mixed. Try to mix it together as thoroughly as possible. Next, here I have some cranberries and some raisins. Well, we out here where we are, we don't get the stuff like Trini's would, but I try to get stuff as close as possible. So here I have some dried colorful fruits. It's not like ours back home in the Caribbean, but it could work. And I just mixed all of that together and I started mixing it into my dough. So that's raisins, that's cranberry, and of course colorful fruits. Here I'm going to add in my essence now. I'm going to add in my vanilla essence. Remember, I gave you all the measurement for that, right? I'm using like half teaspoon, right? So these are 2/4 teaspoons. And I'm also going to be doing the same with my almond essence, right? To add some flavor into that. So I'm going to be adding that now and I'm going to continue mixing. As you can see, my consistency is already very sticky without water. Now I'm going to add some warm water, and that's basically to activate the yeast that I had in my dough. So I add just a little bit of water, maybe 1/4 cup of water, as my dough was already really sticky from my butter mixture and all of that. As I told you all before, it's really rich. So there you have it. That's how your dough should be looking when you reach that stage. Now I'm going to be greasing my pans, right? Old-fashioned way. Grease your pans. And I'm going to add some flour to that and dust it. Obviously, that's to help with allowing your mixture, your dough when put to bake, not to burn, not to stick to the pan. It really helps. So butter your pan and then dust your pan nice and light. Next, I'm going to be adding my dough to my baking pans. As you can see, it's sticky, it's nice. And I'm just going to be packing that down in there. Pack, pack, pack. Yep. Really nice consistency. And yep, I'm just going to shake my pans now. That's it. You don't really have anything to do. It's going to bake nice. It's going to level off beautiful. Now I'm going to add some more fresh dried fruits. Right? That's to give it the look we all love with our Caribbean sweetbread. I'm adding some colorful fruits to the top of this now to really give it that festive sweetbread, especially around Christmas time. You don't want a lame looking sweetbread. So it's really colorful, it's really nice. And now I'm going to put them in my oven on 350 degrees for approximately 50 minutes to 1 hour. But you could keep dropping your temperature a bit and adding it back and checking on it. Right? Next, we're going to make a syrup for the top of our sweetbread. All I did was added some sugar to the same amount of water, and I'm going to boil that and get a nice little syrup-like consistency. Here you have it now. Our sweetbreads are out the oven. It's literally looking gorgeous. It's looking yummy. It's beautiful. Now I'm going to add that glaze. We want that glazy look on our sweetbread, you know. We like that glossy look. So that glossy look you get in there now is from our syrup we mixed with just sugar and water. I'm going to use my brush and I'm going to brush to the top of my sweetbread. Really nice. Just brush, brush, brush. We all love to brush. I like to brush sweetbread. I don't know what all I like to brush. But yeah, and now I'm going to sprinkle some fresh white granulated sugar on top. So that's how we get that nice sugar sprinkle white festive look on top of our sweetbread, you know, like the real old school sweetbread. When we add our glaze, which is the sugar and water mixed together, I sprinkle some granulated sugar, and there we have it. Some beautiful, beautiful Caribbean sweetbread. It's amazing. It's rich.